Welcome back. As you can see, I'm out camping again. A bit late in leaving work tonight, so the last bit of setting up was in the dark. So I'm out with the Onetigris Smokey Hut, my first time in this tent. Got my stove in there, which is the POMOLY Traveller 3. That's me kind of set up for the night anyway. I've got the fire going yet, but I'll do that soon. I just got a wee bit of this kind of insulated bubble wrap stuff I used when I was converting my camper van. I've got the standard issue bivy bag, Gore-Tex bivy bag there. Inside that, I've got my usual exped Sin Mat 7, whatever you call it, mat there. And I've got my old faithful Rab sleeping bag. So it's a wee bit windy tonight. Forecast is for rain as well, so I'll give the tent a good workout if nothing else. I did remember the stove jack. I did a trial setup of this tent a wee while ago, but I forgot to bring the stove jack out, so that's what I was referring to. That's an 80mm hole with a 60mm stovepipe through it, so there will be water getting in there, so I might have to move my mat. I've just pegged it out a wee bit, probably impale myself on that, so I'm just going to get the fire going, get something to eat because I'm absolutely starving. So it's not a right wee spot here, but we'll see what this wind and rain comes to. As I say, it'll give the tent a wee test. Cheers. Well, that's me set up and sitting back and relaxing. I did give in and set up my table. I wasn't going to bother, I brought it with me, so I might as well set it up. That way I can put stuff up there and find it again. I've lost my phone about 3 times since I got here, so I gave up and set that up. A couple of beers under there, and tonight's dinner is going to be a staple diet of camping these days, which seems to be a rolling square sausage with lashings of tomato sauce. So I'm going to give it 5 or 10 minutes and I'll get the dinner on. There is another reason for bringing the tech with me, other than entertainment. It's actually a scientific reason, which is that. That's a temperature sensor bought off Amazon, don't know how good it is. And I've got another one outside tied at the same height to make it completely scientific, so nobody can dispute my findings. So basically I'm going to run 2 temperature sensors off an app on my tablet because I don't know how to record the screen on my phone in landscape mode. So once I've had my dinner, we'll have a look at the temperatures inside and outside. You can make that out, but I've still got the front door open in the tent. That's me chopped up the rest of the wood for tonight. Fire's going well. Even the glass is burning clear. come back to this like I said I would, although I kind of forgot about it because it got distracted with everything else that happens when you're camping. But I'll have a wee look at the app. I'll switch the head torch off here so we can see it. Well, currently, just now, sitting at 22, whatever that is, 0.8 something degrees. That's inside, and outside, sitting just above 8 degrees. And those pictures we are taking tonight, look at that. Blurry. And that's, well, you'll see it. Still got the front door open just now. That's the proximity to the stove. But once I close this door, we'll really see how things heat up in here. Here we go, it's 10 to 9. That's the current temperature, inside and outside. I've just closed the front door this very minute, so the stove is burning so well, the best I've seen it yet. I've got a damper open and the front not even half open, to be honest, so I'm just letting that tick over. As I say, it's 10 to 9, so I'll give that a few minutes and we'll see what the difference is in this wee temperature gauge. Keep using this wee blue light here. As nice as it is, it's a bit harsh. I think I need to install some kind of, or have some kind of softer light, something a bit more orange like, but I suppose the fire would do, but it's not enough to light the place up when you're tinkering about. Anyway, we'll leave this for a while and see how much it heats up. Here comes the science bit. Obviously I closed the door of the tent. I had the stove wide open, reducing that to embers. Then I've just closed the flue at the back, and the vents at the front are open. Now coming up, that is, what's that, 8 degrees outside, and try and focus on that. Don't know if it's me again or the phone, but just under 40 degrees inside. And again, that's just with that on the pole. It is slightly closer, but it's kind of middle of the tent, I guess, depending where you've got the stove. But overall, that's pretty damn toasty. Right, I'm going to conclude the scientific experiment there. At one point there was 35 degrees, 36 degrees of difference between outside and inside. So I'm just going to have a look at the trends. So let's look at outside. Well, let's not. Try again. Nope, not that one. Gee whiz, bear with me folks. Where do you have to hit this bit? There we go, so that's outside. I reset the thing once I got here. It's probably warm there because I had it inside the tent before I even started. That's probably just a wind chill factor, you can call it that, but it's pretty much stayed at 8 degrees. Dipped slightly, but nothing significant. And then we'll switch to the inside now, but not that button. Come on, this is like watching paint dry. There we go. So there you go, it started off at 8 degrees outside, went up to 20s, mid-20s when I had the door open, and there's the kind of the point there where I closed the door on the tent, and it's climbing, and that's been the last kind of trend over the last half hour or so. So yep, the hot tents work. I'd say so. Bear in mind this is one of the thinnest hot tents you can probably get due to its weight and everything, and its construction. As I say, scientific experiment, but it's not really, it's just a sensor inside and one outside at the same height. There's a lot of variables and everything else you could include in that, but it is what it is. But that just gives you an idea of the temperatures inside. But it can be achieved, you can probably achieve more. I don't know, it depends if the wind's blowing through the tent or anything, but it's pretty general, but there you go. It's just about 10 o'clock now. I'm just going to finish my last tiny little beer. I've got to get up in the morning and head to work, so I'll be up at 6 o'clock. start redding things up probably, maybe manage a coffee, but I'm not going to bother lighting the stove in the morning because it won't cool down. I need to leave here for about 7:15 in the morning. I think that's sunrise or first light, I can't remember. So I'm just going to go outside now, retrieve the little temperature sensor because I don't think it's waterproof. I'm not going to risk it. Well, it was only 12 quid or something, but anyway, I don't want to wreck it in its first trial out. I might bring it in and stick it at the bottom of the pole and shift the middle one there up to the very top. I forgot to say in this tent, excuse that, that's a wee hook thing I bought about 12 years ago, titanium thing that you can hang things off that goes around your pole, but there is a hook at the very top of the tent for hanging lamps on and things like that, so I might put the temperature sensor up there for the inside one, and the outside one I'll put at the bottom just to see what the difference is in the spread of heat within the tent itself. Anyway, that's boring. I've got a tiny wee beer to finish. Wee beer still there. Oh. Home sweet home. I did try and have a wee tidy up, well not really, but just pull all the stuff from the extremities of the tent just in case it does rain during the night. I've never really had a tent without an inner before or a bathtub floor, so anyway, let's see how it goes on. Temperature sensors. That one is Mr. Outside, and I just decided to leave Mr. Inside there, just see the temperature drop away during the night once the stove goes out and everything else. So I'm not going to bed yet, so I'll sit up, finish that beer, listen to some music, maybe phone the family, report in, and I'll be back shortly. Cheers. Okay folks, I'm going to call that a night. I've cooked my food, I've ate it, I've drank my beer, I've burnt the wood. Still got some left here, but I'm going to leave that there as an anti-rolling into fire mechanism. I've just stocked up the fire there. The stovepipe's wide open, or the damper's wide open, and the front's kind of closed. Well, it doesn't look like it. That's it, closed. So I'm just going to sit, listen to some music. I've been in touch with the family. They're checking and make sure I'm still alive, which is always encouraging. So as I say, I'll be up early doors in the morning, get ready up, get packed up, get stuff back to the car. The tent will be the last thing to go down, but it's probably going to rain during the night. I've not checked the forecast, but it was looking pretty torrential from just after midnight through to midday tomorrow. So I'll probably pack it up in the wet. I don't think I'll take any videos in the morning, to be honest, if anything at all, but if I'm up and about early enough and I can be bothered, I'll record some footage of actually making my coffee. I've got the gas stove there, so I'm not relying on the wood burner. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the morning. That's what it's all about. Good night, folks. Two o'clock in the morning. A couple of hours skip. The wind has been brutal. That, along with the noise of the waves crashing on the nearby shore. So I looked at weather forecast. There's bad rain coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning now. Slightly later than forecast. It's actually a yellow weather warning. So in my wisdom, let the stove cool down, and I've basically dismantled the flue, taken it out, sealed up the hatch, and went and emptied the ashes into the water course next to me, kind of thing. So something less to do in the morning, but I'm wide awake now anyway. Part of tent life, I guess. So at least I'm dubbed up for the rain, and it'll just make the operation a wee bit easier in the morning because I've got to get down the road for work. So if I'm awake, I might as well be doing something. So just a wee update. Cheers. So I'll just have a look at the temperatures while we're here. The outside temperature is the ground inside the tent. I moved that in from outside, and the inside of the tent is now dropped to 8 degrees, which is probably the outside temperature. This is slightly higher just because the heat in the ground, because it's only about a foot away from where the stove was, a foot and a half away. So once that stove's out, I mean I went out probably at 1 o'clock, so I'll be able to look at the trend, I think, on that bit of the app, but I'm not going to do that at this time in the morning, so just to be updating that as well. Right, I'm going to see if I can get some sleep. Good morning from a wet and windy, not so hot tent. Well, made it through the night despite the wind and rain. If you can hear the rain now. I'm just going to get my bearings, I think. I just had a bit of a thought. I've misplaced the little clips that go into the spark arrestor. The ropes and everything over there, but I don't know where the wee clips are. I can't think what I did with it at 2 o'clock this morning, so I'm certainly glad that I took out that stove last night at 2 o'clock this morning. And obviously the stovepipe as well, because the weather outside sounds atrocious. Stove jacks there, don't know where the wee pins are. Anyway, it's not the end of the world, I think you could replace them with paper clips anyway, worst case scenario. So as I say, good morning everybody. I think I'll have another wee tidy up, and maybe might as well have a coffee with the gas stove. I think I've actually got some time in my hands. Don't know if I said or not, but it was just 6 o'clock in the morning. Didn't have to set my alarm bizarrely, been up on and off during the night, but I did get some sleep, so it is what it is. Forgot to say last night, that's the original stove jack. I think I did mention at one point it's an 80mm hole there in my stovepipe for my 60mm. So I managed to find in Amazon a stove jack with no hole in it. So I'm going to do what I did with the last tent and actually just put a 60mm hole in it, or I might not even put the hole in it, I'll just put the fingers on it, the kind of pizza cut I guess that I did with the tent, and hopefully that will give a bit more stability to the flue as it passes through the hole, because it was moving about a wee bit, and even the sides of the tent flex in the wind. So they are available, the exact same size. I think it's kind of 9 inches by 9.7 or something, 23 by 20 centimetres. But that one there was half the price of the Onetigris one, but I don't know if there's any difference in quality or not, but I'll get that set up maybe the next time. And I'm going to put both these jacks in with the stove, so they're always with the stove. I was going to put it in a tent bag, but I'll just put it in with the stove. It's been almost packed up this morning. It's just after 6:30. I'm just looking at the wee temperature graph from last night. That's the inside one. If you can make that out or not, I think this top bit's more relevant. It just basically shows starting the fire, closing the front door. That's it when we're up to 40 degrees. That was me kind of stoking the fire till 1 o'clock in the morning, and that was the demise of the fire there. Dropping back down to what the outside temperature was, which was 8 degrees and flatlined. A wee spike at the end there. That's just with me handling the sensors and putting them back in a wee box. I'll just have a look at the outside one. Ran out of storage in my phone there when I was taking that last video. Managed to delete some older stuff. Anyway, this was the outside temperature, so that was 8 degrees through the night. I brought it inside because of the threat of rain, and that was down the bottom of the tent pole. That was at the ground level. See the spike in temperatures, I brought it in. Again, continuous re-drop here, and then when the fire went out, there's a big drop there, and the return to that kind of 8-9 degrees along that line. My hands are filthy. So that's pretty much it. Again, a wee spike at the end, but quite interesting to see the variance in temperature. Well, have to brave it and go out the tent. Just going to ferry some stuff back to the car. I'll come back for other bits and bobs in a wee minute. Rain's off, still windy. Well, the rain's still on a wee bit, but not as bad as what it's been. Well, I'm not going to bother with my coffee. That's the tent empty. The head torch is on its last legs. Should have charged it before I left the house. So, as I say, everyone's out here. No sign of a wee pins for the spark arrestor. Oh, that's the head torch gone. I'm relying on this little glowworm. But I'm just going to go get these pegs out, drop the tent, drag it to the car because it's soaking, and I'll get it dried in the garage. Daylight's coming in, just to prove that I did stay the whole night. A bit blurry right enough, camera won't focus, so bit of an anticlimax to the video. Kind of arrive in the dark and you leave in the dark, so that's the joys of winter, unless I can get a half day off of work in the afternoon in the morning to get back, or a weekend. But I'm going to winter standby next weekend, so that'll be a week of not getting out, certainly under canvas anyway. So at this point, I'd just like to thank everybody for watching, if you've made it this far. If not, you've not missed much. Anyway, can't even see the tent anymore, it's still dark, but I'll get this bundled up and into the car. Might be a wee bit lighter by then. Thanks again for watching, catch you later.